call tonight. Of course, it's the last month of the year, one of the most exciting times of the year. People are preparing and celebrating and looking forward all at the same time, and I'm thrilled to have our guest on tonight. Certainly our interviewer tonight is someone who we all know and love. She's been with Xango right from the beginning, and she has a huge heart. She's passionate about this industry and passionate about Xango. So Collie Butler, 500K, it's great to have you on tonight, and welcome.
Thank you so much, Grace, and I am very excited because, yes, this is our first Monday of the month, which means it is our Founder Night. And tonight we have none other than Xango CEO Aaron Garrity. So we're going to do a little interview here, and then I'm also invited my partner Sandy Cohen on to ask some additional questions that we may not cover here tonight. So I want to welcome Aaron, first of all, to the call. It was so awesome spending some time with you in Korea last week or the week before. So welcome.
Hey, thank you, Collie, and Grace. Nice to hear your voice. Welcome to everyone on the call, and thanks for having me here tonight.
We are so excited, Aaron. I love having the time with any of the founders to spend that one-on-one time that you get when you go to events, especially when you've got several days at an event. You always get those opportunities, whether it's over a lunch or over a dinner or just having some time, and I always value that. And I just want to kind of start this call and talk about that because that's our newest, biggest, latest, greatest announcement that we just had is that ribbon-cutting ceremony of Korea and opening not only a whole new country, a whole new market, but a whole new professionalism, I think, to our company. And as I looked at that and I felt like I was there opening day of Xango USA at the Xango offices. And I was there opening day, not really opening. Opening's in April. This is ribbon cutting, but we are accepting applications and bringing people into the computer. And I was there and I saw so many leaders in that room who I knew. Those records we set early on, I think we're about to shatter them, and I just wanted you to share your experience there and your thoughts about what opening Korea means for all of Xango Nation.
Well, you know, for those of you who were at our event in October, we talked about really looking forward into 2017, and the bottom line is we have three major regions that we're looking into, obviously the Americas, North America specifically with the United States and Canada. Strong Americas equal a strong world for the rest of Xango. And of course, you have what is now becoming the #1 direct sales market in the world, which is China. And of course, the United States is #2, and Korea, which we just launched, is #3. And so these are major focuses for us going forward in terms of product, market development, and really where the company is going in terms of broadening out its perspective. And so you, like you mentioned, you back up 14 years when Xango opened up its doors on November 4th, 2002. We drew a line in the sand, and we said we are going to bring mangosteen to the world. We're going to bring the story of xanthones to the world, and we are going to build a massive network marketing company in the process of doing that as we set out to find leaders, people who wanted to play in the sandbox, as my partner Gordon Morton says so often. And sure enough, we set on a course to break virtually every industry record that existed at the time. The fastest company to 100 million, the fastest company to 250 million. And here we are in this upcoming year, this year of Xango 2.0, and I know we'll talk about that in a few minutes, Collie, but really setting the stage for a completely new opportunity with Xango.
I love it, Aaron. I just threw up a slide talking about some of those stats that we've accomplished, and we know we've done, I mean, it's hard to determine exactly because the majority of companies don't even last a year to even file their first corporate tax return and even become a statistic in our industry. So we don't really know how many companies have come and gone, but of the documented ones out there, I mean, the majority, like I said, don't even make it to the first year. The majority of them don't make it to their third year. And what is it, 60-some companies in our entire industry even make it 10 years. And out of that, there's only been, 13 companies go on to hit that legendary billion-dollar mark that we've talked about from the very, very beginning. And I would love for you to talk a little bit about that. We started with the mangosteen, with the fruit. And we launched the Pix, which is leading us even more to the juice. And we launched the 2-Minute Miracle, which has that mangosteen in it, all still leading us to be the world's leading seller of the mangosteen. And what does all that mean for our goal of becoming that billion-dollar company?
Well, I mean, the story of Xango is simple. This is a story that really focuses its entire message on this incredible fruit out of Southeast Asia called the mangosteen. And found in the rind, particularly, of this fruit are dozens and dozens of xanthones, compounds which are naturally formed, which the body is able to utilize for a variety of purposes. And what's so interesting about the fruit is when we first started to research it, there was a plethora of information available that had been collected over just a few years with regards to how the people of Southeast Asia prized and cherished and used this fruit as a major form of helping their bodies. And so it was very evident to us that as that research continued, and much of the research that we ended up stumbling upon were in major universities throughout the world, even pharmaceutical companies were ultimately deciphering and studying the compounds found in this fruit. And so we knew we had something quite magical. And so our focus has been that. It's been to tell the story of mangosteen for the first time in the world's commercial history of products. And we launched our company with a juice, and that juice is primarily this incredible fruit with a few other fruits and juices added to round out the flavor from that pericarp, because it can be a little bitter. But as all of you know who have been able to taste the Xango juice itself, you'll know this is a great tasting product, one that's easy to get down for men, women, and children. And so there's really no barrier to entry. Now what's important is the fact that we actually considered beginning this company with the same story, with the same focus, but using a topical application. We certainly could have. And there was a whole plethora of research and studies that we had stumbled upon that all talked about the topical uses of the mangosteen. And so that was a consideration, and really what makes this time unique in our history as a Xango business builder, as an entrepreneur, those of you who are considering what you may want to do with this business and how you may want to grow it. We just launched on October 15th a brand new product feature by the name of 2-Minute Miracle, which actually contains this incredible fruit or elements of it in the mangosteen and xanthones, and it is placed on topically. Not only that, this is a product that is easily demonstratable, it's easy to use, and the results are nearly instantaneous. That's why we call it the 2-Minute Miracle, and you can find that under the Xango Eris brand. So here we are at almost at the very beginning of 2017, and we are just beginning to roll this story out to the world. Looking forward to our international convention, which takes place at the very beginning of June, where people from all over the world in Xango Nation will gather to have a whole lot of incredible motivation. Corporate speakers, our distributor leadership from all over the world will be coming and participating in that event, and you're going to see some products roll out in the likes of what's been happening in 2016. So this is going to be an incredible year coming up. And let me just add this, colleague, because I don't want to forget saying this. What happens this month is going to set the stage for what happens in 2017. And of course, this is the holiday season. This is a season where we have more contacts coming into our purview, into our lives, than at really any other time throughout the year. And of course, with that, we have the distraction of the holidays as well, kind of taking us out of our normal element of where we might work or business or family, what have you, and it changes it up. It mixes it up. So really, this gives us an opportunity to share the story of Mangosteen, to share the story of Xango. This month we'll be launching our 12 Days of Giving. You can go to our website and see all about that, but featuring the Xango meal pack, where we're fast approaching those 7 million meals that Xango has shared throughout the world since the moment we started this particular program in our Xango Goodness campaign. And so here we have all these opportunities, all these reasons to talk about Xango, whether it be the new product of 2-Minute Miracle, the Xango Goodness Meal Pack, and of course our flagship products that have been with us and that are growing, really focusing on the mangosteen. Add to that the opening of key countries, and yes, countries I say, because there will be more countries that actually roll out in this organization. So this is an exciting time. There's so much to talk about.
Yes, there is. Thank you. As you're sharing all this, I have goosebumps because I've been in this industry now 28 years. Always looked for a home. Took me half my career to find a home, and finding Xango was just amazing. And I've been through the first wave a couple of times. I've never been with a company that went through the first wave and then established themselves as who they are, really getting their foothold in this industry and showing the world that they're have the vision and have the determination that no matter what gets in their way. And we see that with all the great companies, right? All the ones that have gone on to be billion-dollar companies. Every one of them has the story of maybe FTC regulations or FDA regulations or some outside force that tried to interfere with their goals, but those companies showed the world that they were committed. And we've seen that with Xango. And it's like knowing what we've done, we already set all the records, and knowing we are that company who is telling the world we will be a billion-dollar company, and now knowing what we've done in 2016, all the products that we've launched, the more products that are going to be launched, the countries that are opening, I just have shivers inside when I think about how fortunate I am to be in this place, in this time right now. I would love for you to, we have a Building Through the Holidays training that we're doing every Saturday on our Super Saturdays right now, 3-part. Yes, this is a great time of year to build. If you're not pitching the business, but instead sharing products with people, giving gifts for the holiday, and connecting with people and saying, you know, I know this isn't the right time to talk about this, but I'd sure love to talk to you about making 2017 the biggest year of, you know, your financial life. People want that, and they're looking for that. And can you give us a little more? So we saw over Orange Friday 3 new products, new Pix products, which I bought a bunch of because I don't even know if and when they're going to become a permanent part of our product line. So I got a year's supply. I always do that when there's a product I want. I get a year's supply. Do we have anything else like that to look forward to in December? Some specials maybe, some new things that we might not know about that you could tell us about?
Absolutely, and you know, Collie's kind of leading me along here because she's actually been testing some of the products, but I don't know if it's any secret without fully releasing this product line, but you're gonna see some new Pix extracts that will be launching, and of course it's following the holiday season and leading up to weight management season. That's all I can tell you at this point. But we have some products that are truly exceptional, and Collie, you know that because you've been actually testing at least a couple of these
Yes,
out. I know.
have.
I see Collie every now and then going in and out of Joe Morton's office, and there's some really cool stuff coming along. Now, with that said, these products will be for a limited time only. So first come, first serve, because we are leading up to our Vista events will be taking place, which will be taking place in the month of January, starting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th week of January in various parts of the country. Please check your back offices or look on our Xango events section of our website, and you will see if there's an event coming close to you. But those particular products and a couple other goodies we have ready for you are going to be featured at those events. So really, the bonus you get for being an early comer here the last week of December, you have an opportunity to be the first to get those products. So there you have it.
Awesome. Thanks, Aaron. I'd like to ask Sandy, I think you have some questions for Aaron as well you'd like to ask.
Thank you, Aaron, for taking the time. And, you know, it's interesting. Most people on the call who are listening now or who are listening to the recording probably are not the elders in the company the way Collie and I and some of the other leaders on the phone. And I think what really is unique, Aaron, is the culture that you and your partners have created. There's a lot of new people that are listening to this. You know, why do you think that Xango has become the darling of the industry, you know, with the credibility and the integrity and the heart and passion that you have for us in the field, not just as business partners, but also as heartfelt friends? Where do you think that all came from? And I think that's so important for people who are looking for their final home. You know, we talk about legacy companies, and it's not easy to find something that is quote unquote safe, something that you can count on that's going to be there. So address a little bit about why you think the culture is as magnificent as it is with Xango.
Well, that's a very good question, Sandy, and hello and good evening to you. I hope you and Ed are doing well, and it's good to hear your voice. Yet another 500K select on the call. Needless to say, guys, our culture has always been very special. It's interesting. Last week, we made some changes in our management mid last year, and as we did that, we wanted to make sure that things were moving the way we originally sought them to move. And you know, sometimes a company grows so big that you've got to bring people on and get them working in certain areas, and sometimes those core elements that you initiated get kind of lost or a little maybe even diluted over the course of time. And so this was a time for us to really take it back and impress on every aspect of the company where it needed to be. And quite frankly, you know, going back 14 years, to take some of the weaker segments of the company and transform them into working segments and segments that can thrive. And sometimes that's companies, sometimes it's products, other times that is technology, computer systems, this, that, and the other. And so, of course, we've done that over the years, but this was a monumental look at all of those fundamentals and reminding the core of Xango really all those things that made us great. And it really starts with the culture. This is a can-do culture. This is a culture that actually not only believes in network marketing, but honors network marketing for what it is. Now, over the last 14 years, we've seen a lot of companies come and go. Colley says there are really only, what did you say, 60 companies that are in existence, that have been in existence for 10 years or more. Now, that's nothing new. That's, quite frankly, that's business. Every year there are hundreds of thousands of new businesses that start, and hundreds of thousands close by the end of the year. You extend that business into 5 years, that's where it gets a little rocky for the small percentage of companies that actually continue. So a number of them fail really at the 5-year period, and of course there's the 10-year period, which is really the top percent of the top percent who have staying power. So it is a big deal to be in business and thriving over 10 years. And in any business that is the same exactly a decade or more from the day it started is a company that's not going to be around very long. And so these are things that every company faces. There are aspects of a company that need to be modified and upgraded, and so that's what we've spent our time doing over the last several years. But that culture has been integral in making Xango such a special place to be, because this is a company that loves network marketing. And I can tell you, I sit on the board. I'm the CEO. I'm the chairman of the board. So when it comes right down to it, I might be a little biased, but I'm here to tell you that when my partners speak of the decisions that have to be made in this company, it's not always easy, especially when you're in over 40 countries throughout the world. That is a lot of territory to cover. And there are decisions that might seem small that actually impact all of those countries. And so we have to be very careful with the decisions that we make and to ensure that the decisions are made with the distributor's best interest, not our best interest or not a faction's best interest, but with the overall company's best interest in play. And those are cultural decisions. Again, coming back to this notion that we love this industry. We love our distributors. We love to see our distributors succeed. We hurt when they hurt. We enjoy what they enjoy, and it's a wonderful team that has been integrated into the company. This has never been a company of us versus them in terms of what we have seen in the industry over the decades that we've been in this industry, where corporations pit themselves against distributors and distributors against corporations. Obviously, you have all types of entrepreneurs there, and so there's a need for a constant method of disseminating information and sharing information, and compromising where compromise can take place, so that everyone feels good about everything as they're growing their businesses. And so that's what we strive to do. It's a happy place. I had last week a visitor from a network marketing publication who's never really known Xango, but has always taken time to write about Xango when competitors feed them information. And it always hasn't worked to our advantage. They've taken competitor rumor and they published it. That's kind of what they do. Most publishing agencies would tell you that the easiest road to actually achieving a daily publication is having all of the work done for you. Well, it's kind of hard to do when there are so many companies to cover and not enough people in the organization to see what those companies are all about. So last June, I reached out to this individual and I said, why don't you come on over to Xango next time you're in town and visit us? And they ended up staying here for, he and his wife ended up staying here for about 3 hours. just an enormous amount of energy. It was almost like a convention, interestingly enough. And Kali, you actually happened to be there, and you actually happened to meet this couple, and you saw their energy and passion and talking about Xango in a way that they never even dreamed. And as I was walking them to the elevator, down the elevator to their car, the comment that was made to me was, I don't say this often, if ever, but I am very impressed, and I am blown away at what I see. And I have to tell you guys that is a common comment that we get from virtually anyone that walks into this company, because that culture is so powerful. Now, that's just from an employee and founder perspective, perhaps, but you brought Dwayne and Kali actually happened to be in the office that day doing some business, and we invited them up, and of course they could see it. They could see the energy coming from these two, and it's really an indication of what we have all over the world. If you guys could have been there in Korea to see that ribbon cutting, where we actually just officially launched the business in Korea leading up to our grand opening, the excitement is unbelievable. There are hundreds of people in the office virtually at any moment in Korea. That's how they do business. They congregate in this one area, and the excitement doesn't stop. But I'm here to tell you that excitement, and especially in the minds and hearts of Xango distributors, is created from within, because there's so much to be excited about when you're talking about mangosteens, xanthones, the Xango compensation plan, the opportunity of a worldwide business, a global business, and the products that support that global business. It is a great moment for Xango.
Aaron, thank you so much. Sandy had another question I think everybody would love, but we're actually out of time here, and I just want to very quickly go over a couple of slides, and then I would love for you to just hang out for one last closing comment. I just want everybody to know where to be plugged in. You need to stay plugged in. Xango's YouTube channel is youtube.com/XangoJuice. There are a lot of amazing videos there. Shelly has a lot of great new ones. She just put in the new corporate videos there. So make sure you're plugged into that. XangoEris.com. Go to the resources. Look at all the resources that are there available for you for Eris. Look at the home party guide. It's a plug and play, teach you how to do a home party, and all the rest. All you have to do is buy some product, plug in Shelly, and you're in business. So make sure that you are aware of all of that and look for that. The new shopping cart, your new replicate sites. myxango.com/your site name, or shop.xango.com and log in with your ID number, or not even log in but apply your ID number. It's so easy today to use and share these products with other people. Xango.com, go to the blog, look at all the news. Make sure you stay plugged in, because we've got holiday specials I know that are coming the end of the month that you're not going to want to miss. You want to stay plugged in on Facebook at facebook.com/XangoJuice. Make sure you like the page, comment on the page so it stays in your news feed. Look for holiday promotions. Make sure you're aware of the Xango Paradise trip, Xango.com/Paradise. There are 3 Paradise trips next year in 2017. You can qualify for any one of them, but in North America we're all focused on qualifying for the Dominican Republic, which will be in August of 2017. All the details are there. The Vista event, stay plugged in. Vista events are going to be happening all over in January, and all leading up to our international convention, Xango B, taking place at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas the last weekend in June. So with that, Aaron, I'd love for you to close this up, and I'm going to open up the lines for just a moment. There's so many people on the line. I just want everybody to be able to say thank you for your time here today. I do think that Sandy's last question is pretty powerful, so maybe she could ask it, and you could close us up with that, and then I'll open the lines to have everybody say thank you.
Okay, Golly, you're going to have to help me. What was my last question?
Okay, well, I'm reading it here. So you were asking about, because you're so big on this, you're asking about our business model of professionals that have changed from high tech with high touch. What are Xango's plans?
Okay. Yeah. In other words, our business, if for those of you who weren't around 14 years ago, we started with a 6-page fax. In fact, Ed somehow resurrected it and put it in plastic for me. Think about your advantage today with social media and everything that's available on the internet. So the big question is, Aaron, even us old timers have embraced technology. And there's a lot of people listening who say, oh, I didn't grow up with computers. Technology's not my thing. Well, the reality is get over it and learn. So now that we have China and we've got Korea and we've got dozens of other countries, the big question for a lot of people is how is Xango preparing that high tech with still staying with that ever important high touch? What are Xango's plans? Because I know I've been privileged to some of that information, but I think you have to at least tell the masses what some of the plans are anyway.
Absolutely, and thank you, Sandy. I think it's a good question, and I'll try to be brief, guys. 2017 is going to be a monumental year. Our main objective this last quarter was to get our 2-Minute Miracle launched and, of course, unveil the Korean opening. We have launched Korea with a brand new computer system, back office, one that actually really, really, really facilitates the business from an entrepreneurial standpoint. We live in a day and age where technology is essentially obsolete the minute you launch it. And so these are moments. We have spent millions and millions of dollars over the years in technology, and the most important piece that we have tackled for this upcoming year, 2017, throughout the world, is really our operational platform, what you guys see in the back office, how you can use it, how you can promote and feature your business more readily and more successfully. So that's going to be really a nice touch for you guys to look forward to. For those of you who haven't really got into the technology thing quite yet, don't be scared of it. I would encourage you to get on with somebody who actually understands the technologies, at least even in limited form, whereby you can actually learn by getting into it. The Xango compensation plan, it's one of the simplest plans ever in the history of network marketing, but you really don't understand it until you start working it. Why? Because then you get a feel for how you can move and make it grow. Technology is the same way. For those of you who are using Facebook and nothing else, go to Instagram, go to Snapchat, go to Twitter, and use those forums to properly and effectively market your business. You can link a lot of these technologies together, so where you do work in one area, you actually populate the same type of statements and marketing in every area. But the fact of the matter is, those who aren't using technology are not necessarily behind, because there are many ways to have contact with people, especially when you're working in some of the international markets. But in the first world, where technology is essential, these are ways that you can reach across borders and waters to build your business without even getting on a plane and going there. And we have people who are doing it every day. It just takes a little getting used to and a little training in how to make it work for you. So don't be scared of it. But it is essential that you have both. There's a lot of people that delve into technology and think they can build a business solely with that. To some extent, that's true. But what we find always in this business, everything comes back to high touch. And that high touch is that personal contact, especially in Xango, because it's so different from any other company out there, that personal contact that says, I actually care. I care about you. I care about your family, and that I'm bringing you in the business, and I want to help you succeed in the best way possible. And when you see people face to face, when you interact with them in a regular fashion, to that matter, meetings, conference calls, online calls even. I mean, that's an element of high touch when you can actually see somebody on a Skype or a Zoom or whatever other conference selection you might have. But get with them and let them feel your passion for the products that you promote, the products that you sell, and the products that are so dear to your life. So that's where it's at. Thank you, Sandy.
Aaron, thank you so much. And if you're in the meeting room, you would see so many people commenting, just expressing their thanks. They're so excited for everything that you shared. They love the founders. They love everything you shared with us tonight. I am going to open up the lines for all those people who are only on the phone bridge so that they can also express their appreciation, and we'll close it up for the night.
You are now unmuted.
Lines are open.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mahalo for all your time. Thank you so much. Bye.
This conference is locked. You are now